Well, we can all hear each other at the beginning without any problems?
What?
That's strange.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Well, welcome back to another episode of Server Restart In. It is a weekly World of Warcraft podcast hosted by three opinionated players. My name is Jim. I'm joined by Kristen.
Hello.
And Brian.
Hi.
I fucked up the opening again. God damn it. Yep. And we're back. Let's see.
And we're
So there's been some little bits of stuff coming in and out. Apparently, we had talked about Chris Metzen before being back involved in WoW, right? Like he was working at Blizzard again. Apparently now he's the executive creative director, which I don't know what he was before, but it's for the entire Warcraft universe. So
interesting.
So Metzen's back, I guess, like fully. I don't know. I guess that's like he's at the helm of the ship again as far as like lore and just things. I don't know. I mean, this seems like I see things, people talking about it like, oh, this is exciting, great, WoW's going to be good again, blah, blah, blah. And other people are like, well, this, you know, it's like, what, put lipstick on a pig kind of shit. You know, it's like, just because he's back doesn't mean it's going to get any better kind of thing. And then, like, apparently there were some rumors going around. I don't know if it was on 4chan or Reddit or something like that, that when Microsoft acquires, you know, Activision Blizzard, they're just going to, like, cut everything up and whatnot. So this seems to kind of, I guess, defuse those rumors a little bit, maybe. I don't know. It's always for me like a wait and see kind of thing with things like this because, you know, one guy isn't gonna make a difference. And it's like, yeah, he's got a better chance to do that for sure, you know, but.
I mean, when he left, what was he actually working on anyways? I mean, he probably had limited input by the time that he left, which might have been a good reason why he left. And so there's a good chance that like even some of the better parts of what's happened over the last, 5 to 10 years, he hasn't really had that much of a hand in.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Right now, on the Amazon Prime Gaming, you can get a Zipao tiger pet, which looks like a little jewel tiger pet. Apparently it was a recruiter friend pet, so that's out there. It's available to October 24th. So if you have Prime Gaming, you can go collect that. And in the same vein as pets, there is a new pet that's been data mined for Wrath Classic and retail, and it's the Lick King, and his name is Arfus, and he's a little blue puppy. Nothing? Nothing? Oh, that's a funny name.
These little what do you fucking call them? Stretches for jokes or whatever. I mean, they're just they're not redundant by any means at this point, but it's recycled humor over and over. Great.
It's, yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
The only thing that I saw that was really interesting at all lately that has kind of popped out, or the Tendies stuff, and it might have already cycled through, but
What about the Tendies
actually
again?
has. Well, not the Tendies specifically, but the green cloak and hood from like.
Somebody remade the opening cinematic Dwarf Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with the green cloak and stuff, they were able to basically
No, we're talking about the same thing. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about specifically, but that's exactly what I was thinking because it's very iconic, and so like that super caught my eye. That and the Medivh. There's a Medivh outfit too.
That one, I think
you-
part of it's already out there. The
Is
the
it
cloak and stuff with the hood, the raven hood, and the shoulders with the feathers.
feathery stuff?
Yeah, that's already out there. But yeah, no, like there was like the green cloak and hood allowed somebody to basically recreate.
It's the original box art, isn't it?
Was it the dwarf with the bear?
Yeah, he's on the front of the original box. Yeah, the dwarf with the bear.
Yeah, so that
Yep.
was
He's got chainmail and a green hood on.
yeah.
Green cloak hoodie thingy, whatever.
I had it up, but
It's incredible. It took him like
forever to
what
put that in.
almost 20 years.
I mean, they're putting stuff in apparently. So back to the trading post, like the monthly thing. If you get the monthly thing done, it's a broom mount, which looks pretty neat.
Don't we already have a broom mount?
Yeah, but this one looks better. I think it's got a lantern.
Isn't it
Well, I
the
guess
other
I'll
one's
do
temporary
that
though, isn't
later.
it?
No, there's the one that you can use that's an instacast that you can use during like the Hallows Eve stuff. But I thought that I think Kristen's right. I think they did add one at some point, but this is a better looking one, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember what the other one looked like and stuff. So, but they are adding in like the little KT pet, so like the little Kel'Thas pet. No, Kel'Thuzad, not Kel'Thas. Jesus, wrong KT. But you know, so like, yeah, there's new stuff out now for this month. So do your trading post stuff. Good times. I thought there was something else with that. Now Blizzard announced some stuff at BlizzCon called Guild Clash. It's gonna have some arenas, some mythic dungeons, and then like a bonus event that hasn't been released. But it's basically Echo Method, Golden Guardians, and Team Liquid are gonna be doing like competition, like esport competition stuff at BlizzCon. So I don't know. It'll be on the Twitch and the YouTube channels and stuff. So it's all I think did it say season 3 stuff? I don't remember. I thought they were. I don't remember. Yeah, it says. Oh, it does season 3 dungeons. So it will be the next season dungeons and stuff like that before I think they're released. But yeah, so I mean, that's not really anything that I'm super interested in. I don't really care watching the esports stuff. You know, it's just kind of. There have been a bunch of data mined achievement leaks for that might have something to do with the next expansion. So like there's like potential story speculation, and it's looking like it's dwarf heavy. Oh, are we doing something with the sword again? They might. So it looks dwarf heavy. It looks like the earthen are being brought back and stuff like that. And like elemental stuff. And then at the end of this list is just a picture of the Sword of Sargeras. So I'm wondering if there's going to be something related to that finally.
What are you referencing?
Here.
Is it something on Wildhead?
Yeah. I'll send you the link. Because there's just a couple of achievements that they they did. Oh, apparently
Oh,
you're
I
going to be able
see.
to do stuff and get things in WoW if you do Warcraft Rumble, which isn't out yet. But, yeah. So I mean, there's just like all this speculation about what the story is. So it'd be interesting to see if we get more.
Where did you see something about the sword though?
It's at the very bottom of that post. It's a big picture.
Big picture.
What are you talking about? Did I send you the right link?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I did. It's at the very bottom before the comments.
No, it's Wowhead. They post the same shit like 400 different ways. So
Oh.
Goddamn Wowhead.
wow, that's actually
That's a good shot of it.
wait, what? Okay, hold on.
Do you see it?
Is this is all guesstimation, right?
Yes. Yeah. This is all stuff that's kind of based off of achievements, like data mined achievement leaks from that somehow. So I don't know how they get data leaks for 11.0. I don't know how anything.
Well, I mean, if you look at the original stuff, it's just like little tidbits that leaked into whatever data mine strings packs or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the only thing they're referencing is the mount, and there's something called the Heroic Edition with a mount.
Right.
Oh, maybe that's the only one single thing. But I think they were trying to tie it back to something in.
Yeah. No, it's all speculation. It's all speculation. There's.
Well, no. Well, I mean, it's got little roots. It doesn't have big roots.
Little roots.
What's the dungeon they rehashed
Oh, tier.
in Dragonflight?
The No, it's Legacy of Tyr is the subtitle of it. Uldaman, Legacy of Tyr.
Oldemon, yeah. So there's something in there that gives away to hints, and then like what might solidify it is this Heroic Edition, blah blah blah. So yeah, but it was like one. It looks like one single string that they might have data mined. Which then again, right? That's the same data mining they did for Dragonflight and its editions. So
Yeah,
remember back when that happened?
No, it's been 2 years, man.
Really?
I don't remember. Any.
Somebody found it on the website. Remember the web code had it in it.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to take all that stuff with a grain of salt, right? Because some people.
No, of course. That's exactly this, though, right? Like, they have somehow, like, overly theory crafted, like, this whole post about this based on that one little thing. So,
Well, they've also.
which is totally cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's fun, but.
They also kind of go back to, like, the little picture that the in-game goodies and take-home swag stuff for BlizzCon. Like, there's, like, a backpack that you can get. Like a physical backpack, and then there's like, and in at the thing it says more to be revealed, and it shows like an elemental mount kind of thing that's similar to like the ice elemental mount, or not that one, but like a stormtrooper. So like they're kind of.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Which again, if BlizzCon is going to be free, like if the BlizzCon online stuff is going to be free, do you still get the mount? Because before it would like you'd have to buy like a virtual ticket, right?
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna have like the way you could pay for something, right?
I don't know. It'll be interesting because they do have like the tickets for going there, but I just don't know what's gonna be, whatever. And the backpack just says BlizzCon on it. Doesn't even look, whatever. It's just a backpack.
We could make our own backpack that says "fuck Blizzard."
F Blizzard. Okay.
Oh, F Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Sorry.
F Blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of mean.
I mean,
It's kind of funny too, though.
Yeah, I know. I know.
yeah. I mean, if that's our way to get the foot in the door into contacting them
I don't think that works.
through their legal team.
I don't think that works.
Oh man, I mean,
How
I'm
can
sure
we-
it would work. And
How can we open the door to communications with Blizzard HQ?
I mean, do we even really want to communicate? Do we?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of all it's really kicking around. Like, what was else? Let's see. Raider IO is doing their off spec, like their Break the Meta event. Starts October 3rd, where you can register on their site and do keys with like off spec, or not off spec, but like off meta classes and stuff.
I actually
What are you
like.
talking about?
I actually like that it's kind of a community event that they're putting together and that they're doing, and it, I don't know, I like that. That's one of the things that I like about Final Fantasy is they do a lot of community stuff like that, and so I like that.
Oh.
WoW is kind of, well, not WoW.
Did you see?
But
Did you see something about like? Oh man, I forget where I read it at. Or maybe it was one of the other YouTubers or whatever. Something about Dungeon AI, possibly.
No.
Dungeon Party AI.
Did we talk about this?
Oh man, hold on.
really,
I don't remember.
That would be interesting. If
Oh,
they
Bellular, yeah.
was he
I
just
think maybe
saying
it's
this
what
is
it was.
something they should do?
No, it was they kind of like there's a few different posts around it based on 10.2 stuff that was released.
Oh, that soon?
Sorry, I don't have a good reference.
grasp
Sorry.
on.
I do remember seeing it because it was something along the lines of like potentially creating parity with Final Fantasy, right? In the way they
Yeah.
address it.
With like the duty finder and stuff. Is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about? Like doing dungeons with AI rather than with people?
Yeah, because let's
Yeah.
see. Hold on. It links back to MMO Champion. Let me see if it's still there. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean,
I wish I would have referenced it or remembered it earlier and I
God-
could have pulled it in.
God damn it, Brian. This is how we do this shit around here by the seat of our fucking
No,
pants.
totally, but it was like, oh my gosh, because if so, like, even if it were, what was the thing in like, was it Mists that you could run the temple, White Temple, Tiger Temple, White Tiger Temple, or something like that to do the train your class or something like
Yes.
that?
Well, that
Yeah. The proving grounds.
yeah.
Yes, I
Proving grounds. Is
100%
that
agree.
Still a thing?
Yes, it is. I 100% agree. That is one of the reasons that I like duty support in Final Fantasy so much, is because if you are unsure about mechanics, you can go in there and practice them without dragging your entire party down. So I wish that Final Fantasy would also incorporate it for raids, a duty support, or for trials. They did it in one, so it is possible to do, and it made sense story-wise, which is why they did it. But I think that they should just do it in general, because
Oh,
the trial
you go.
that I did was so less. Like I wasn't. There was no anxiety, right, going into those dungeons or those trials, because it was like, I don't know the mechanics, I don't know what I'm doing. And sure, people are relatively forgiving, but everybody wants to one-shot something. Nobody wants to stick around for 6 hours. Not that it's 6 hours,
Yeah.
but nobody wants to stick around for like multiple attempts of something because somebody doesn't understand a mechanic. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think being able to practice them, same thing with raids. There are a lot of crazy mechanics in any of the MMOs, right? And sometimes you just don't get one. And I would love to just be able to go in and practice over and over and over again until I understand the mechanic and I get it. And I think that NPCs allow you to do that. They're a tool, just like DPS meters are a tool in WoW. And arguably people would say in Final Fantasy, but I don't use them in Final Fantasy. But it's a tool to help you get better if you take advantage of the tool. Some people won't do it, and that's fine, but there are plenty of people I think that would do it, and it would be very helpful, myself included, you know? So yeah, that's my...
Well, that's what, like, I had not the idea, but I made the comment on the forums back in Lich King about having computer AI take over for winter spring
Oh yeah.
battles, because they were so bad. Like, they were so, like, one way heavy. I think it was typically horde, but like having them put in, and at that point, not like the AI probably they had in the island expeditions, because those were actually probably pretty good. The CPUs that were in for that, but something that could just go in and supplement a percentage of a typical player. And
Right.
even in this case, like, it would still be, in my opinion, a pretty good idea to have. And so even if it just means, like,
So
they're normal or heroic dungeons that you get to not have to worry about grouping up with people.
the only thing I think that maybe pokes a hole in this is because I just did a quick search on it and something came up on Reddit and they're talking about this MMO post, and somebody said that AI dungeons are dungeons that are just scenarios for quests. So the quest
That's what I was assuming too, because as soon as you read, like, the fourth one down,
Return to the Throne of
Like-
Tides, track a powerful rally of the ages. Yeah.
yeah, it feels like you're just a part of a little
Well,
scenario
They-
thing.
They also said that the quest to jailbreak Bane from Orgrimmar was a dungeon, and it was listed as Siege of Orgrimmar AI because the teammates are AI.
Oh,
But
interesting.
right, that's a specific thing. But like, why would we be going back to Brackenhide Hollow? Unless they're putting it in for quests like.
No,
like
let's just go ahead and reinforce the fact that, like, this is not going to be what we actually want it to be intended.
It
There's
never is.
No way.
It never is.
But they
Right?
It just can't be.
Sure, but again, this isn't Blizzard saying
And
that they're giving
honestly-
us AI stuff and it's this. You know what I mean? They're not promising the duty find or like the duty feature. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, for sure, they would take advantage of that and ship that probably with even a big patch, or, well, this would be a big patch, but in my opinion, an expansion, and, like, tout the fact that, and honestly, it's hard to see that it would even go over well anyways, but the idea that it might be there is exciting, but I'm pretty sure, and really, like, even if it's just those scenarios where you do go through the questing or whatever for these dungeons, maybe they're just laying the foundation between that and Island Expeditions, right, to bring in that idea.
They had something similar to this at the end of the new starting area, like that 3-person dungeon that you could do. Did you did the Exile's Reach, right?
Yeah, with the shadow
The death magic stuff.
magic
You
or
try-
death magic, yeah.
And then you fight the Necro Dragon at the end and all that stuff. That whole dungeon is just
Oh
like,
yeah, and you got the NPC that'll die and, like, come running back or whatever.
yeah, it's like it's 3 people, whatever your specs are that queue for it, and you go in and do it, and that's it. So that, I don't know if they just haven't found a good way to expand it, because we've talked about this in Final Fantasy, like in 14, the fights are predictable.
Yeah, they're very heavily scripted.
So it's like,
know what is happening.
don't
at each
stand in
thing.
this thing, move here at this phase in the
Yep.
fight, that kind of thing.
It's all about muscle memory and figuring out where you're standing at each particular how to resolve each mechanic. It's very
Right.
Once you figure it out, some of it still is stressful because there are multiple mechanics that happen at the same time, and you have to be very careful. Oh, I'm resolving this one first, and then I'm resolving this one. But when you've got multiple AoE targets on the same spot, and you're like, oh, there's a cone AoE here, and there's a circle AoE here, and you're like, oh crap, and you have to
Yeah.
remember which one resolves first and where do it gets stressful.
It's
definitely.
stressful for people. I think the computer just knows. So
Yeah.
So
computers are very lucky.
And they probably just roll a die in the background to see if they actually succeed at remembering it or something like that, or they get the hit. But like in WoW, you can fuck up a dungeon or a boss fight or something by turning the boss the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can do that in Final Fantasy too. You can, things happen, and
but what about Final Fantasy 14?
The tank.
Sorry.
The tank can turn. There can be a tank buster. The tank can turn the boss, and somebody else gets hit by the tank buster instead of the tank, or whatever. If he's doing a cone AOE on the tank and he turns it, and you know what I mean, before he finishes complete.
The only thing I think that's part of this that is encouraging is that the one is not a Dragonflight dungeon, it's Throne of Tides, right? And that is like a quest to go into a dungeon zone to do things, and it's rolls. It's 1 damage. So that seems like it's a solo thing. Or maybe a party or whatever. Like you don't necessarily... Maybe you do queue for it. I don't know. But the other ones are Dragonflight dungeons, and the rolls is 1 to 5 damage. I mean, whether or not that means that you have to go in as a DPS or what, I don't know if that's gonna like prevent you from, like, if you're gonna end up like duplicating roles if you go in as a tank or a healer kind of thing, because that's the class you play. But
They could,
I don't. It's, you know what I mean? Well, if you're queuing for the scenario and it's just generating it and dropping you in, and it could be smart enough to pre-populate with other things. Whereas I think in Final Fantasy 14, you can pick the party of NPCs that you go with, right?
Yeah.
It's not random.
No.
So that's what WoW's next big feature needs to be, is henchmen, where you can, like Guild Wars 1 had, where you could hire people to fill your party out when you went out to go work. Like there's NPCs, and you could pick and choose them, and they could be generic, kind of like Baldur's Gate 3 has that too, right? Like you can fill your party up with henchmen, right? That are whatever.
Run around with all clerics.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, something like that, where you could like, and fuck it, make them customizable. Make them like the goddamn followers for the garrison, but like you can take them with you, like Meatball, right? You could have Meatball kitted out as like a barbarian DPS, and he could be like, God, they have these characters.
They've had they've had companions where you went out in the world.
It doesn't even. I don't even care.
It's like Swoter, right? Where you could go into dungeons. See, this is what I wish Final Fantasy would do as well. Final Fantasy almost has it perfect. In that you can pick 3 other NPCs to go with you and do dungeons with. The way that they could make it perfect is if they allowed you, say you were duoing with a friend of yours, and allowed you to pick 2 other, like maybe the party leader or whatever, to pick 2 other NPCs to go with you. So you could just fill in your party with the NPCs, or you had 3 people and maybe you didn't want to pug a third person from a real person. You just wanted to go with an NPC, right? Yeah. So you could do that. That's where they could make it perfect, right? That would be, for me, that would be the ideal scenario for me, because I routinely don't have 4 people that I want to go with, and I don't always want to pug. And so I have, a couple of friends that I want to go with, and we just want to do dungeons and go practice, like maybe practice some old dungeons or, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And to me, that would be perfect. And if WoW could do that before Final Fantasy does it, holy cow, that might be a game changer.
Guys, we might get her back.
That might be a game changer if WoW could do that before Final Fantasy. Now, the problem is with WoW, they don't have the same gearing system as Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy, you go back and you do, you go back and you do old dungeons and you get tokens that can get you gear for new dungeons. So you can go, you do your roulette for old, like leveling dungeons, and it gives you currency to buy new stuff. You know what I mean?
You could just tack it onto like the time walking system and get time walking tokens to get level appropriate gear. Like that could
Or attendees, and you can buy them in the store.
Yeah.
Or attendees, yeah.
But so WoW already has this follower system. Like you have all these followers from Shadowlands, from Battle for BFA, Battle for Azeroth, and the other one, Warlords of Draenor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Legion, right? So you have 4 expansions worth of tabletop companions that you've collected. You have a cadre of people to choose from. Let us just make those people, like, you've already got them and they're in your roster, right? And just do that. Just like if you've collected them in one of those things, they're in your roster, right? Now you can take them and make them characters to go with you to fill roles and do dungeons.
Yep.
Think
about how cool that would be to take kind of iconic characters with you on your journeys, because you've met all these characters, and then maybe it's not even the iconic ones, but, ones that, like, if I could take Brol Baremantle with me again, I am Nature's Fury!
Oh, God.
I heard that so much during Legion. You know what I mean? But if you could do that, that would be
pretty
really
freaking cool because then, oh, my God. Please, Blizzard, steal this idea.
Steal it, please. We're begging you.
But that would be cool because then you could you wouldn't even have to give them like regular equipment, like a full players thing. Like you could just give them like a slot for a weapon, a chest, and
you don't even need to do that.
Well, just to, give you some.
Don't do that. Give you glamour options. Give you options that just change appearances. Don't change because that's a step too far. Then you're having to farm for their best in slot stuff too.
Okay.
Give them options for transmog. Give them things to change the way that their weapons look.
I was thinking of it more like the way it was in Warlords, where you would just
you had to farm for you had to upgrade their stuff.
Right, but it wasn't best in slot. It was just an upgrade piece.
Sure.
That's all. Just something like that to like make them a little bit better.
But
like if
people are gonna best in slot that. I mean,
you make it so that it's not a best in slot thing. It's just a piece of gear.
That's what I'm saying. Just make it a transmog thing, and then that you don't have to worry about that at all.
I disagree.
Okay, that's fine. You can do that.
I will.
Guess.
I'm going to.
That's your prerogative. You're wrong, but that's your prerogative.
Wow. Oh, man.
I'm spicy today.
Thanks for getting too spicy for the pepper. All right.
It's a spicy day.
I think that, though, yes, I think that you could do that. And, they don't have to necessarily be in line with, I guess the problem is what difficulty do you allow that to be in, right? Like, you don't need groups for normal, right? Because once you hit a certain point, you can just go in and...
I think you should be able to do any of it because the mechanics change, don't they, via the... or is it just the...
No, dungeons, the mechanics don't change.
The mechanics don't change, but the level of damage does.
Yeah, but...
And if you want to practice something and potentially get to the highest level of damage, so you should be able to progress through them.
I maybe not keystones, maybe just
I don't think you should be able to do keystones.
Right, but that's what I mean. It's like could you do it at mythic level and get mythic gear that way? I mean, it's like
sure.
Or should there be kind of like a hero plus that's kind of not as hard, but
No, you could do it at mythic gear is just basic mythic gear, and nobody cares about regular basic mythic gear
except for the gear upgrade stuff now. So it's kind of it's a little bit more
so make it not gear upgradable, right?
That would be a bad move, I think.
Or make it not as far up as you could go.
Yeah.
Maybe that gear that you get, you can only upgrade halfway, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not I mean, we're not trying to, I guess, build this feature, but it is a good idea, and I think that they've already got all the followers and stuff that already have character models. Because, like, not all of them probably do, but you could take Nat Pagel. And then you could go
my
fish
fishing
up,
buddy.
and then you could go do Zul'Gurub, and you could have him fish up the lurker and all that stuff, and but have him just like catch it and just fillet it right there, kind of thing. Like just like do fun little shit like that with like certain characters, like
The lurker and Zul'Gurub? I thought he was in Serpentine Cavern.
No, it was in the one that was a raid. That's not Serpentine. That's the one with
Serpentine was a raid.
Serpentine Cavern is
The lurker below in Serpentine Cavern.
What's the thing that you fish up in Zul'Gurub? It's like a Hydra or something like that. What's that called?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I'm thinking of. Not the lurker below. It's just
in the raid itself, or
the dungeon. You can do it in either one, I think. There was something that you could fish up in Zul'Gurub. Let's see. Oh, Gazranka. Gazranka is it's a Hydra. It's the 9th boss in the raid. So that's what it was. It wasn't the lurker. His name was Gazranka. And I don't know if he was in the raid.
He's not in the dungeon.
I thought there was something in the dungeon as well, but it's that area. Anyway, but something like that where you could take people like that and they could do like just have like little like not even anything that anybody knows. I mean, obviously people would data mine this shit, but like how cool would it be to just like you take somebody to a certain area, like if you took Bear Brolmantle or whatever, Bear Mantle, that's it. Bear Mantle, and took him into like the Emerald Nightmare dungeon or Darkheart Thicket. You could have like flavored text of shit from him, about like the corruption of nature and just like little like things like that. That would be pretty cool reactionary stuff. So yeah, it's a good idea. Blizzard, steal that idea and don't fuck it up. All right.
Don't fuck it up.
So I think Brian, you had something to talk about, right?
Ooh, what are we talking about?
Oh no, I just finally died in classic hardcore.
Oh,
dang!
It
was the classic. We got overrun by spawn.
Yeah,
I didn't do anything about it. So I died. My son stayed alive. That was on Tuesday, maybe, and then I think he just died with that character this morning.
Oh no.
Yeah, so he got to 18 and then gotten in a group with another guy, and I think they went to go ping a mob.
Oh.
Because they didn't know if it would pull others or not.
Yep.
And it did, and then they got overrun again, and so.
I
don't
like hardcore. Only for the reason that I get attached to my characters. And so when they die, it feels like a part of me dies. You know what I mean? I get attached to my characters. And so
it's funny because like I would love to see a newer iteration of it where you can at least have the secondary professions already maxed out.
Ones that you've already done, like a path for your characters.
Yeah. Well, it's like fishing. I spent well over an hour just fishing while he wasn't on because I wasn't gonna.
Welcome to Kristen.
Right,
I wasn't gonna play without somebody else.
Yeah.
I think Kristen would just do that anyway.
And the cool thing is though, like I was fishing out boxes and I got a few greens. I was able to sell it and buy my spells and stuff. And it's that part of it that kind of irks me. That like
all that time. that you put into it.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, next time I'm probably not going to level up profession at all.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that doesn't really make sense. And so I like the hardcore aspect. Like, yes, you do it, you die, you start over.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that because you can look back and be like, man, we had a blast, right? And it was like, it makes you feel like you have that original experience when you first played the game.
Yeah.
I don't know how or why, but that's totally what it feels like.
Well, because everything it's more tactical, right? Everything is more.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. That's
impactful.
exactly it. That is exactly the thing. And I think we talked about that before. Like every fight is like its own adventure, essentially.
Yep.
And so, and like I think it just made it even more meaningful because most of the time people are grouping up. They are not going by themselves at all.
Yeah.
The areas are populated nonstop because people are dying, then going again.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, this is like the way that it like.
And it's
other
like,
than the fact that like you can get so far and die.
Yep.
And that's it, you know.
It's like
because even for 14, like I didn't touch it for 2 days, and I was finally like, okay, I'll make a rogue. I got my rogue to level 6 and logged out. Even yesterday, we decided we're going to start humans. We started humans. We got to about level 5 or level 6, and we were going across Elwyn Forest to grab the named boar princess.
Uh-huh.
And we went the wrong direction, and you couldn't see them. You could not see the Defias guys, 3 of them.
Yeah.
He aggroed 3 of them, started to run.
Yep.
I aggroed another one.
Yep.
And at that point, like, they were hitting him from behind. He got dazed, died. They got jumped on me and then killed me instantly.
They are stealthy.
And I'm like,
mofos. Like,
you know, it's funny. We use the add-on that gives you the hotspots for the map too.
Okay.
Yeah, the Deathlog one.
Well, it's not just Deathlog. It's another one. I don't remember what it's called, but the map, like, it'll show you hotspots where people are dying. So it'll fade from red to green and all that stuff and kind of give you a better path to go. If you can't remember, at least.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's nice.
No, it's really handy.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Oh, wow. Well, that area is bright red. Fuck that.
No, well, that's the thing. We went pretty close to a bright red area, but...
That's what we should do. We should, for one of our episodes, we should all go play hardcore WoW together and see how far, who dies first
we
and how far.
We actually should.
Like, wouldn't that be fun?
We actually should. Yeah.
Let's add that to the list of great ideas we have and never do.
Yeah. No, it definitely would be.
I'd be down.
It would be interesting because it's very much like you can get hooked into it for a while, and it doesn't feel. I don't know what it is because even regular classic, like when classic came out, you know, the newer classic, as in the newer version of vanilla,
right?
I went back and I played the crap out of it, and I'm pretty sure I got to like level 19 or something like that. And it was tons of fun to do it one time, and that was it. Mm-hmm. Like, and I didn't even get all the way through, right? I didn't level to 60. But I remembered how long it actually took to do all these little things, and I'm like, I don't want to go back and do that again.
Yeah.
You know, like, like leveling, it was kind of like the same thing with EverQuest back in the day, was that it felt like a real achievement getting to level 30 or level 40. When in hindsight, like the real achievement's getting you to 60, and then from there, the achievement is getting like a full set of armor, you know, from some level, right? And so, whereas like retail doesn't have that feeling where like you get to level 30, it's like, well, I just played 5 minutes, so I'll play another 5 minutes and get to level 60.
Right. Well, that's because they focus everything on the end game and nothing on the journey to get to the end game. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe if they made it so, you know, hey, you get to level 30, maybe you get, you know, full set of cool armor, or, you know what I mean? Or heirloom gear that you don't have to pay gold for, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
The problem is that getting to 30 is so trivial now. Leveling is trivial in this game now. And that's, I think, part of the issue. Like, it doesn't matter what you get.
Well, no, it's funny because it feels like they're actually trying to push to make it like very secondary.
Yeah,
it is. Because it's like exactly like Kristen just said. Their focus is on raids, Mythic Plus, and PvP, endgame PvP, right?
Yeah.
That's their main focus. There, you don't see twinks anymore because there is nothing really like going on with like the.
Well, now twinks can only fight other twinks, right? Like if you're
I
twinking,
guess.
I think
in like
cap
the
your
PvP
XP.
and stuff. Yeah. So I mean, it's just like. So like, there's really like you don't build up as you go along, that kind of stuff. So like, you can level in less than a week, probably like a couple of days if you really go at it.
Sure.
Or you can buy a boost and just get to 60 and then hit max. You know, it's like the fact that leveling is, just a means to the end and is not like
not impactful at all.
Yeah, it's like the stories I like, in some of the areas and stuff like that. But like, once you've done them, you've done them.
I liked what they did with the Chromie time and letting you level in one specific X pack and stuff like that. Like, I really liked that. I wish they would do more with that. You know what I mean? Where you can go back and replay and revisit the stories, kind of like a New Game Plus or something.
It's weird because it fragments the game.
It is weird because it fragments the game, but I think it's almost more designed for alts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
no, that's fair. Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, well, like you can't if you're a new player, you cannot use Chromie time.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to level through the previous expansion.
Oh yeah, the previous.
And
one.
Then go into Dragonflight. So you would have to do.
Yeah,
Shadowlands.
well, so maybe let me save my comment for that. Then that's still fragmented. So
yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's fragmented from the classic, from the traditional perspective. It's probably a good solution now because you play the game, but really, like at that point though, you buy the game and it's like, it's not as deep as it, has always. It just has been, right? And then you have no incentive to go back and see that content. I mean, unless you level an alt or whatever, and then so then we get into that whole persistent problem.
Unless you are like just want to know, you just don't do it.
So there could be a little incentive to go back. They could give you, you say you go back and you complete an entire zone or whatever in the old thing, and they give you like a mythic version of gear or a mythic maybe a different recolor of something from that zone or something like that. Maybe it's a transmog thing, so that way people who are interested in that can go back and do it, and people who aren't interested in that doesn't feel like they have to go back and do it. You know what I mean?
You know what they could do is they have time walking dungeons and they have time walking raids. Why don't they just do time walking zones where you can just go do quests in there and get like current level stuff, but like it's all like max level, or it's like it's scaled to your level. So you instead of you just queuing up for a dungeon or whatever, it's like, cool, send me to Hellfire Peninsula. I want to do some time walking there, and it's like you first came through, and you just start the quest lines, and for like that week, like that's a zone that you can go do and get.
That's the problem I have is it's only for that week. I don't like that. I wish time walking you could just select.
Think about it. That kind of sounds
walking.
Cool though.
Yeah, it sounds cool,
like
but
where everybody goes back, like maybe or something. Dude, I like that idea.
But she's saying that the whole time walking thing being just...
I hate it gated to a specific week when you can only do time walking of this specific X pack during this specific week or whatever. It
is gated, but is that really a bad thing though? Like it's really just a matter of trying to spin the old content in a way that like feels fresh enough for people to go back on.
Right. I just hate that you can't go back when you want to go back.
I think
no. Well, that would be in addition though, right? In addition to what you can do now, anyways.
Right.
Because you could go back and do the quest if you wanted to.
Yeah.
There's nothing blocking you, right?
Right.
But once you've done it, you've done it. So you can't go back and do it whenever you want. If you've already done it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, you're saying like the question's saying that like Sorry, go ahead.
I think what she's saying is that the fact that you can only do it during the week that's active.
Yeah.
And
it's only time walking Lich King dungeons this week,
Right. And it's and so she wants the ability to just be like, I feel like doing time walking stuff right now. Let me go do some of that.
Yeah, let's go farm some of these time walking dungeons for this.
I would say like if they changed it to be, because time walking isn't always there, right?
Right.
No.
That's the problem.
The problem.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
that's what I'm
problem
saying.
I
Like,
have, yeah.
like, so they should like, even if they keep it in a rotation, maybe it should actually like not be a part of the weekly structure rotation, which I always think's annoying anyways, because I don't like the pet ones and I don't like the PvP ones. I would be more engaged if if they were like, if they were in addition to, you know, type of thing.
I don't
and
mind,
maybe this is the same way.
I don't mind the pet ones. I just hate that the pet ones are always a PvP one instead of just going out and doing pet battles. Like, let me just go out and do pet battles. Don't make me PvP with people. I don't want to. You know?
Right.
Like the problem is that it's like time walk.
That's such a great idea, though, when you think about it, because you could add a bigger pieces of armor, right?
You could
that you still have to work towards in through the quest lines, like at the end of the zone in Hellfire Peninsula, right? When you got to finish the rock off and get ready to go to the other zone, and you usually get like that badass blue whatever that's like level 62 or 61. You know, back in the day. That could be like an epic that's, you know, normal raid or whatever.
Yeah, well, and not just that. It's just like you just make the whole quest and you scale everything up and whatnot. You probably have to tweak some of that stuff because some of those. So if you remember when they did their scaling and all that stuff, there were certain things that didn't scale right, and like something would just like destroy you with like it would one shot you when it with a spell that was supposed to do like 1% of your damage, but because of the scaling that 1% was like 99.800%, you know. But but that would be nice, and like if they having them one at a time or having them all available that you could choose through, it's like I could see extending the period so they just back up so that just there is. I don't mind leaving it in a rotation as long as one's up every time.
Yeah,
like that would be a compromise.
That would be a compromise. I agree. As long as there's one up all the time.
They're only up for a week.
Well, yeah. I think that's what I think I agree. I meant earlier because like at that point, I think it'd be cool that they focus one per week or whatever, just for the sake of having people there doing it to some extent.
You could make the quest be whatever, because the weekly quest for the raid gear that rotates, right? Pet battles, world quest, mythic dungeons, time walking. You could have that time walking quest. That could be fine, whatever, for the reward. That can still rotate and only be once a week, but the time walking event should be for like the 4 weeks or the 5 weeks or whatever, and then the next time it rolls around it switches expanding. Because if you think about it, if you think about how we raid, that could actually give us an opportunity to maybe do raid progression on time walking raids.
Yeah, because we never get to.
We raid once a week.
Yeah, we have one night to raid those things, and if we don't get them done in that one night, that's it, we're done.
And I don't know how difficult some of them are. You know, some of them have mechanics that are a pain in the ass, which would take a lot. I
mean, when we did the Burning Crusade one,
Black Temple,
we did it and we got it done, but it took us more than one night, didn't it? We had to do it.
We did 2 nights. We did it the next night or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like that. I think would be a good way to kind of like drive, like replay on it. And to, you know, just kind of make it there and give people a reason to go back and do it. They have, we're in expansion 10. They have 9 expansions that you could do this shit in. They don't have any time walking for classic, right? I don't think. Yeah. So, I mean, and you could have, each week could be, you know, you could get whatever in a zone, but like each week, like the different zone, like maybe you could have a special reward each week for doing stuff in a specific zone. You know what I mean? So maybe, you know, there's all different kinds of ways you could spin it, but that allows you to go back to a certain thing. And then you could have vanilla and post Cataclysm vanilla, right? So you could do Tears Fall Glade
Oh, yeah.
in the beginning, and then you could do it after the Cataclysm. You know what I mean? Like, so some of these zones have doubles. You could have Barrens 1 month, and then when it does, post Cataclysm, it could be North and South Barrens. I mean, I don't know how you really want to do that, but because Cataclysm would be its own thing, but those would just be Cataclysm zones, like the 4 ones for that. But it's like, I think that would be a good way to expand time walking, and then get people to go back and play old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there are gonna be people that just do it and whatever, but it's
Sure.
like, make it, scale it so that it's like, kind of challenging a little bit, not like, I don't mean make it like super fucking hard, but I mean, just kind of like make it like the first time you came in. It's
Stuff
like,
is always super challenging for us when we go to do stuff.
that is not true. We rated heroic, and we got 4 heroic bosses down
We did.
this last
Nice.
raid.
We
Yeah,
did.
with having not have any down before.
That's
So,
true.
it's like,
I mean, to
it
be
was-
fair, we all outgear it. We were all at least half the raid was mythic geared. Like,
it doesn't matter because there's still mechanics. Okay.
Doesn't matter that we
Don't-
outgeared it. Don't take away our achievement.
Yes, we did well, and it was
did.
fun. It was
It
fun
was
to
a lot
like
of fun.
do like progression stuff. It was fun to get the gang back together and go in and like do something that's challenging.
Yes.
And it's just like, and make progress on it, and not just sit there and do the same stuff and whatever.
And once I actually got my
Yeah, she had all her stuff
get
equipped
all
this
my
time.
gear equipped this time, that was great.
Yeah.
My
You're lucky
healing
that you
was-
did that on a normal run. See, that's what we had to do. We had to shake all the rust off, get the kinks out, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah,
all right, cool.
we're definitely less kinky now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So thank you everybody for listening. It's been fun this week. So you can check us out at facebook.com/server restart in. Shoot a tweet at server_restart. Send us your favorite fish and or other things. I forgot what Kristen said to send us stuff.
I don't remember either.
But anyway, we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.